A young Cameroonian farmer has attested that fruit cultivation, especially apple, could revamp the economy of Cameroon and sub-Saharan Africa at large. Phi Kennedy Mimba has trained many 1,000 youth and passionate farmers through his organization known as the Apple Revolution, which is out to fight against climate change, hunger, unemployment, and poor health conditions. He also notes that exploits could be done if sufficient finance resources are made available to empower his organization. In the following interview granted to Irene Bangtata, he begins by explaining what Apple Revolution is all about. Take a listen.
The Apple Revolution is the concept of the CEO Kennedy Mimba Phi. First, I wanted to generate a positive online traffic at a time where there was a lot of social media chaos with challenges Cameroon has been facing, and we wanted to actually come up with that concept to create awareness on the fact that apples do well in Cameroon with respect to our results. We started the project in 2014. We started planting these trees in 2013, 2014. It is very normal that you can get an apple seed from the market and then nurse it. I was very surprised to see how the results came about. So coupled to that fact, we decided that we will nurse as many, and then you go as far as grafting some. So we have been planting apples in 2014, and then it is just in 2016 that it was captured by some bloggers, because by then I do not have a good Android phone, so most of the time we post it. It looks blurred, but in 2016, it came to the limelight of many bloggers, so they were posting, and then I got more encouraged. It's from there that we had to structure ourselves, the Common Initiative Group, so to see how we can then better up together.
Now, what actually pushed you to this? How could you have imagined that apples could be grown in Cameroon? I mean the Pomme de France type of apples.
Well, before then I thought maybe I was very jobless, frustrated, because, I just left a technical teacher training college in Bangui. I used to love farming, first of all, because we grew up in the farm. Yes, we grew up in a farm. We used to go to the farm. We farm all sorts of things. We plant even coffee. We plant eucalyptus trees in the village. We plant kola-nut trees, pear trees. So it was not a strange thing to me that I could try apple. It's just that when I actually just knew about apples, I was just wondering to myself, you buy an apple from the market, you see the seeds inside, and then you can try to germinate it, just like many other trees that we have been experimenting lately. So from that, we decided to go into it because of its richness in nutritive value and also the excellent contribution to the economy for the love of that particular fruit by the people. So we decided that we embarked on it.
Mr. Kennedy Mimba Phi, CEO of the Apple Revolution. Now, please tell us about the advantages of growing fruit trees. I guess there should be some advantages.
As you rightly mentioned, there are a lot of advantages growing trees and fruit trees for that matter. So one great advantage that we somewhat leverage on is the fact that trees breathe out oxygen and they take in carbon dioxide, which we all don't need in the community, the fossil fuels. So it is very eco-friendly. And with the advent of the climate challenges, we also hit hard on the fact that we should plant as many fruit trees as possible as to combat the climate challenges, which has been one of the top issues on the United Nations agenda for the past decade. Other advantages is that if you look at the CAM data trade of 2016 statistics, you will discover that Cameroon they spent a lot of money, about $4.3 million in importing fruits. So when I look at that, I discover that it is very important that we invest in fruit tree cultivation so as to reduce this high cost that the government has been spending on importing fruit, whereas we have the natural resources, we have the richness of the soil, and we have everything that can take to grow these trees in Cameroon. So those are just some of the few that we captured. And, we also used to say this, any home with a garden or with an orchard has life. So it is very important maybe just to even go around, sit under the shade in your orchard and with your children, those who are elderly people, they play around. It is very good. It gives life to every family.
Wow. And now please tell us more about your farm. How is it like?
Okay, here...
Your apple farm.
Back home here in Kumbo, I have just an orchard. That is where we've done our experiments. I say we because now we're functioning as a small common initiative group. Now, the new farm that we are already working on it is located in the East region in Betua, just few kilometers from Manju subdivision in Betua. So we want to plant as many. In fact, we've already started planting. Though we have little challenges, but we want to plant as many trees as possible, many apple trees. We have other fruit trees, but we are dominating with apple trees because we so much believe that that one alone will take Cameroon economy to another level. So we are already planting trees there. We have 15-year strategic plan to fill that environment or that farm, those hectares of land with fruit trees and with apples dominating.
Apart from apples, what other fruit trees do you grow?
Well, we've been growing other trees which are already common, mangoes, plums, pears, and what we do is just that we try to make sure that we grow the good species that will look more attractive, that any person that we see will be, wow, is this what I know? And then there are other things like the grapes, the grapevines. Many people also import grapevines to do their wines, table wine, and so on. And then there are other fruit trees that we have been venturing into. We have not had results yet, but we know that as time goes on, we'll be able to have excellent results. It's dates. What is imported from Saudi Arabia and sold in the market, very expensive too. And we don't think that we can grow them. So where royal palms can do well, also dates can do well. So we have been working on it too. And then pomegranate and other fruit trees, guava and all the likes. We want to plant fruit trees. That's why we always say we're fighting climate change with fruit trees, generally fruit trees.
I guess coming up with such a project has not been a bed of roses. So what have been the challenges?
Absolutely. Well, the first challenge that we had was to get a farmland. So thank God that we actually had a challenge. I remember one of my friends told me that as we struggling to get a farmland, that to develop a farm is not bread and butter. So I was not seeing that challenge until we got one. So I've just discovered that we need financial support. We need finances, and then we actually need people who will reason with us, be able to feel this burden of revamping the economy of Cameroon through agribusiness and fruit tree cultivation, and those who will be able to have this mindset of fighting climate change with fruit trees, so that when we form a synergy, we'll be able to work successfully, because it's very difficult to work together with people of unlike passion and focus. So that is what our major challenge for now, because we are able to produce as many apple trees seedlings as possible. So what we need is just financial support to transport it to the farm, to develop the farm, to till and to actually plant, build farmhouses, and also build up an irrigation system whereby we can keep our farm moist even in dry seasons.
Mr. Kennedy Mimba Fai, CEO of the Apple Revolution. Please, what is the cost of each fruit plant?
For the past years, we've been giving a fruit tree ranging from 1,000 to 5,000 francs with respect to how people have the burden to support us. But this year, we're going to be giving out our fruit trees at 3,500 francs, so much so that it will be able to accelerate our growth as well. So an apple tree can only be planted at least two, because it is a tree that is fertilized through cross-pollination. So anybody purchasing a tree should know that it must be from 2 and above.
So if you plant just one, it's not going to bear forth fruits?
If you plant just one, it might not bear fruit. It might just be like a flower in your yard, except that maybe your neighbor, some few meters from your compound, is having an apple tree as well, so that the pollinates, which are the birds and the bees, might transmit the pollination, and then it can eventually bear. So that's one challenge that many pioneers who have actually been planting apples in Cameroon, where you have one in your compound, know that it is a flower. When you have from two, that's when it can fruit.
Through cross-pollination?
Yes, through cross-pollination.
So did you actually study agriculture after your technical teachers training college?
I actually didn't study, but I would say thank God to the internet era, because the level at which I've been carrying out research on this apple cultivation has been enormous. So much so that I speak with people who are studying agronomy in universities. Most of the time, I always give even online courses to agronomy students in universities, Ngaundere, Boya, Chang, and all the like on apple cultivation. So I think the internet has been my source of knowledge, and then I do put it into practice too.
And now, what's the cost of each apple plant?
The cost of each apple plant is 3,500 francs.
There are many out there who might want to have them planted in their compounds. And what contact information, please?
If anybody who wants to contact us or might visit our Facebook page, The Apple Revolution, and there is our email address and our phone number. And then I may love to give the phone number here, which is 671 64 72 41. 671 64 72 41. The person will get in contact directly with Kennedy Fry, the CEO of the Apple Revolution, and he will be giving directions on how to plant. If possible, we even get to the field to do some investigation on where he or she wants to plant them.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kennedy Mimbafai, CEO of the Apple Revolution. It was a pleasure having you on the program.
It's an honor for me, Mom. Thank you.
Another original idea. I bet you this is wonderful. By the way, this guy reminds me of my Royal Science classes. In those days, primary school. No, but the ladies did but domestic sciences in those days. Wow. Irene Bangtata in issuing the news, and our guest was Mr. Fai Kennedy Mimba, is Chief Executive Officer of the Apple Revolution. That's a non-governmental organization for climate change and for the fight against hunger, disease, and unemployment. Well, according to Mr. Fai, cultivation of the apple fruit, called pomme de France, like you'd call it pomme de Paris, well, it is possible in Cameroon, so you'd be calling it pomme de Cameroon. And that alone can make a difference in the economy. And I say, yes, that's true. Make us proud, us, the farmers. Still ahead on the show, Science Update. And today, we engage